We have this problem here that says express the number appearing in the following statements in the standard form. So 1 micron is equal to 1 divided by 10 lakh meter. Now you have to change this number, that is 1 divided by 10 lakh, 1 2 3 4 5 6. You have to convert this number in the standard form. Now this number can be written as 1 divided by 10 raised to the power of 6, right? Then this number can be written as 1 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of minus 6. Is there any problem? Because this is actually what? This is 1 multiplied by 1 divided by 10 raised to the power of 6. And this is actually nothing else but 1 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of minus 6. So this 1 is actually what? This one is 1.0, right? We can write it as like this. And then this is 10 raised to the power of minus 6. Therefore, either this one or this one, you can choose anyone. This number is in its standard form. In the standard form, the decimal is always after the first digit. Okay, let's take the second one. In the second one, we have the charge of an electron. The charge of an electron is 0. You have 18 zeros, then you have 6 coulomb. Okay, so you have 18 zeros after the decimal and then the digit 1. Now we know that for this to change this number in its standard form, the decimal, this decimal that is here, has to come after 1. And in order to do this, you have to cross over these 18 zeros, and this 19th digit is 1. So you have to move this decimal towards the right, and it has to cross over 19 digits. So what to do? So the answer will be, for this will be like, you have 0.1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 1 and 6. So we need this decimal point from here to here, right? That is, you have to bring it here. To do this, what we can do is we can multiply it by 10 raised to the power of 90, right? Now since we have multiplied this number by 10 raised to the power of 19, you'll have to divide this number by 10 raised to the power of 90. And why? Because this number should not change. If you'll multiply this number by 10 raised to the power of 19, there should be a balancing act for this. Therefore, you'll have to divide this number by 10 raised to the power of 19. In that way, this will be actually equal to 1. Same number divided by same number will give you 1, and 1 multiplied by same number will be same 1. So when you multiply this number by 10 raised to the power of 19, this becomes 1.6, and then this multiplied by 1 divided by 10 raised to the power of 19. Now this is actually what? 1.6 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of minus 90, right? Okay. In this third part, the size of a bacterium is 0. You have 2 to 4 and 2 6 zeros. Okay, so the size of a bacterium, bacteria is plural and bacterium is singular, so is this much. So 0.1 2 3 4 5 and 6 and 5 meter. Now in order to write this number in the standard form, this decimal point has to come after 5. That is the first non-zero digit. In this case, this is the 5, and it's the last digit in this number. So if you have to move this decimal towards the right by 7 digits, 6 zeros and then 1 5. So by 7 digits, it means that if you multiply this number by 10 raised to the power of 7, then it will move this decimal point from here to after 5. But since you have multiplied this number by 10 raised to the power of 7, you'll have to divide also this number by 10 raised to the power of 7, because it will give you 1. This number divided by this number, the same number, will give you 1, and 1 multiplied by this same number will give you this exact the original number. There's nothing will change. So when you multiply this, you get 5, because actually 5.0. Now 5.0 is nothing else but actually 5 only. Now 5 multiplied by 1 divided by 10 raised to the power of 7. This is equal to 5 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of minus 7, and then the unit meter, right? Now here you have size of a planned cell is 0 point. You have 2 zeros, you have 4 zeros. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, then 1, 2, 7, 5. Okay, now tell me, in this number, which is the first non-zero digit? The first non-zero digit is 1. Therefore, in order to write this number in the standard form, this decimal point has to move from this position to this position, that is after 1. And in order to do this, you have to move this decimal point towards the right by 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 digits. That is 5 digits. So if you multiply this number by 10 raised to the power of 5, then this will move it decimal point from here to here, that is after 1. But since you have multiplied this number by 10 raised to the power of 5, you have to divide this number by 10 raised to the power of 5. So if you multiply this one, this will give you 1.275, then multiplied by 1 divided by 10 raised to the power of 5, this is actually 1.275 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of minus 5. This is the answer. And of course, you'll write the unit here, that is meter. In this last example, you have thickness of a thick paper is 0.07 mm. 0.07 mm. Okay, so your decimal point is here. Tell me which is the first non-zero digit, that is 7. So this decimal point has to move from this portion, that is after here. So in order to do this, you have to you have to move by 2 digits. So multiply this number by 10 raised to the power of 2, and then divide also by 10 raised to the power of 2. So you get 7.0. 7.0 is nothing else but 7, and then multiplied by 1 divided by 10 raised to the power of 2, that is 7 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of minus 2. In a stack, there are 5 books, each of thickness 20 mm, and 5 paper sheets, each of thickness 0.016 mm. What is the total thickness of the stack? So you have a stack, okay. In this stack, you have 5 books. Now, you have 5 books. The thickness of one book is 20 mm. Therefore, thickness of 5 books will be 20 multiplied by 5, that is 100 mm, right? So 100 millimeter. Okay, now plus you have 5 paper sheets. So 5 paper sheets. In 5 paper sheets, one sheet of paper, one paper sheet has a thickness of 0.016 millimeter. Therefore, the thickness of 5 paper sheets will be 0.016 multiplied by 5, that is 0.080, right, mm, that is millimeter. So here you get 0.080 0.080 millimeter. Okay, now since you have to add them together, so if you add these two numbers, you get 100.080 millimeter. Okay, now actually what you have to do is, here the question is incomplete. You have to express this number in the standard form, the final result. So if this is the number, now if you have to express this number in the standard form, your decimal point is here. Now tell me, in this number, which is the first non-zero digit? That is this one, that is 1. So your decimal point has to move towards the left by 2 digits, that is 2 zeros, so by 2 digits. Okay, but in this case your decimal point is actually moving towards the left. Okay, so to do that, if we divide this number, let me copy it. So if we divide this number by 10 raised to the power of 2, right? 10 raised to the power of 2, then this decimal point will move towards the it will come after 1 or before 0. But since you are dividing this number by 10 raised to the power of 2, you'll have to multiply also this number by 10 raised to the power of 2, right? So when you divide this one, you get 1.00, and then you have this 0 and this 8. Now if you want to write this 0, you can, otherwise you can leave it also, because this 0 is after the decimal, it comes at the last. So if you want to put it, you can put, otherwise you can ignore it also. And then it is multiplied by 10 raised to the power of 2, 10 raised to the power of 2, and then your unit, that is millimeter. So this is your answer.